Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, this some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I made this be myself, so hear me. I mean, like, we can put all that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah, it's in their bones, the thoughts and harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse with only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
What is going on, peeps? We are back in the building. Good morning to you all. It is game day, people. We are here for the Liverpool Wolves preview. Guys, as always, smash the like, share, subscribe, all that absolute rubbish. Guys, please make sure you do that for me. So, Liverpool versus Wolves. Liverpool obviously coming off the back of that draw to Everton. Obviously, I haven't done a match reaction to it, so obviously I'll just rap about that for a couple of minutes. Just before that, obviously, they spoke quite a lot, to be fair. To Arne Slot, they obviously tried to ask him a couple of the questions, like, yo, like, what really happened, kind of thing, in the actual game in itself after the match, obviously with him and the referee, him getting sent off, Curtis Jones obviously getting sent off, all of that kind of stuff. And listen, look, one thing I liked about Arne Slot in this press conference, and to be fair, in general, he does do it quite a lot. Sometimes he does annoy me with certain things he says, but that's very few and far between. But in this one, listen, look, I went back to watch the game because I only watched the last half hour of the game. So I went back and watched the beginning of it until the end. Yeah, look, Liverpool did not deserve to win the game. I thought Liverpool were so poor. It was, it was, I don't want to say lucky, because you score 2 goals, and you think, okay, that'll be enough. But Everton, in my opinion, if there was one team I felt were going to win, it was Everton. I didn't think that before the game. I won't lie. My match preview, I think I said 3-1 or 2-1. I can't remember. Maybe even 3-0, 2-0, whatever. But I didn't think that, Liverpool were going to perform the way that they did. Did it surprise me? No, not really. In my opinion, we've performed like this in quite a few games, in terms of just being stifled. Not really much going on up front. We could see with players like Diaz, 𝐒𝐃, the whole forward line, they're all quite rubbish, if I'm being totally honest with you. But we've seen that time and time again this season. Difference is sometimes you come out of those games with a victory, and we almost did, obviously, until Tarkowski, had other ideas. But yeah, we didn't deserve to win the game, so a draw is probably a fair result. Everton probably would feel more hard done by, but listen, they were able to get that last minute goal, which is probably, as the minimum they deserved, in that game. Yeah, midfield I thought were poor. Defense, Van Dijk, 𝐒𝐈𝐿, what was that? Do you know what I mean? We've been talking you guys up quite a lot. There's a reason we talk about you guys, because they're absolutely top, world class. Well, Van Dijk anyway, world class centre back, and 𝐒𝐈𝐿 is a top class centre back, but Beto made these guys look average, really average. Really average. Disconnect with the whole team. I said this before the game, about Liverpool and having certain players having like a week off and just not really being up to it. And listen, Arne Slot will learn. He will learn these kind of things, and he's learning more and more about his team as the season goes on. In terms of which players are G'd up with playing all the time, like a Salah, for example. Which players can need a break, need an arm around, whatever it might be. He's learning, so it's difficult. But at the same time, you just knew, it's just I didn't think they would perform that way, but I'm not surprised by the performance. I thought, okay, you know what? Listen, we can go 9 points clear, in the table. The lads know it, all that kind of stuff. I know it's a derby. I know it's the last one at Goodison Park, but like I kept saying, play the game and not the occasion. We played the occasion, we didn't play the game. And you saw it in the performance. That's what that looks like. When you play the occasion and not the game, that's what that looks like. That's literally what it looks like. It's no different than anything else, kind of thing. I think Liverpool only had 6 shots in the game. Like I said, it was poor. It was so, we were shit. Sorry for swearing. I know it's early morning that you guys are going to be watching this, but we were crap. I didn't rate the performance was so rubbish. I can't think of any other words, for it. But it's one of those. It is what it is, right? We're still 7 points clear at the top of the table. Well, I say 7. Technically, Arsenal have obviously won at the weekend, beating Leicester City away. So we're 4 points, ahead at this moment in time. We can, of course, go back to 7, and it would have been nice to be on 9, before Arsenal kicked a ball. But we're still top. So, that is what it is. But definitely that performance, it raised a lot of eyebrows to some people in terms of some of the players. We're getting into not really crunch time just yet. We're still early, like we're still in Feb. So we're just getting into that period where it's like, be careful. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be doing this too many times. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to make sure that we perform a lot better. And that's obviously 2 games on the bounce that Liverpool haven't won. So, of course, third time lucky. Hopefully, Liverpool can get the victory, against Wolves. Obviously, Curtis Jones, I just put this in here just for the sake of it. I mean, Curtis Jones, obviously being Jones, getting himself sent off. Passion, all of that. Bare people like, oh my goodness, I love this. I'm like, oh yeah, who doesn't love a player not being available for the next game? Yeah, I get it. Do you know what I mean? But listen, emotion. Everyone keeps throwing this word around. Emotion. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, now you're down 1 midfielder, and we ain't got abundance of those. We ain't got abundance of good ones anyway. So to have him not available, we'll wait and see, man. But anyways, let's obviously look obviously to this game. Slot did praise. He praised Gary O'Neill, to be fair, in terms of the job that he was actually doing. And he did speak about them when we played them the first time, because he obviously was saying about like they've been a bit unlucky, and they were like at the beginning of the season, like, well, even now, I mean, they're 17th, but when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, like they're not even playing badly, like they're not doing poorly, but it's one of those, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's literally just one of those, man. Obviously, look, they've won their last 2 games, lost 3 before that, but they had Arsenal, Chelsea, and Newcastle, so that was always going to be quite difficult anyway. But they have won their last 2 games, beating obviously Villa, beating Blackburn as well. So yeah, I wouldn't call it renaissance or anything like that, but who knows, man? Who knows? This could be another tough game for Liverpool, man. Wolves are going to be, I think, a little bit of a different proposition, but if people are smart, they will watch that Everton game. And now you might not have player for player, but you can take some bits from that Everton game. But it's not just that game, it's obviously the Nottingham Forest one before that. It's the Newcastle one. It's the Arsenal game. It's, other games that we played this season where you could look at it and think, okay, fair enough. It's, I mean, there are 7 games that we haven't won, this season, 6 of those obviously being draws. And I'm not saying you can win every single game, but there, in my opinion, there is a blueprint to beat this Liverpool team. And it's just about stifling their creativity. And once you do that, Liverpool do not have answers. They've shown time and time again they don't have the answers for that. So if they can do that, then we can see, kind of thing. In terms of like just little insights, Liverpool have scored 10 in their last 5. They've kept the most clean sheets. Salah's obviously top scorer. In terms of Wolves, they scored 5 in the last 5. Cunha has created the most big chances for Wolves this season with 12. Cunha has the most shots on target per match for Wolves. He gets 1.4 on target per game on average, obviously, this season. That might be something to obviously, look at. He's got half the amount of goals that Mo Salah has got, this season. He's having a really good season, by his standards, to be honest with you. He really is literally their best player, their shining light. Without him, I really don't know where Wolves would actually be. If I'm being totally honest with you, I think it's quite evident that they rely quite heavily on him. And a team like Wolves, they're going to need to rely on a player like Matheus Cunha in order to be able to get them out, of this whole situation. And I know he signed the new deal. So it's going to be interesting to see, obviously, what kind of happens with that. In regards to like injuries and stuff, he did mention he's literally mentioned Gakpo right at the end when they asked him about like all of the players who may or may not be potentially available, for this game. So Gakpo sound like he's doubtful. Obviously, Morton, Gomez, and obviously Curtis Jones being, suspended, for this game. Wolves got quite a few injuries. Traore, Mosquera, Gonzalez, Hwang, as well, Larson, Chiwami, and Kalachik. They are all either injured or a doubt for this game. So, you know what I mean? They are hampered by injuries, which for a team like Wolves, when you've got, for most teams, I mean, that's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players anyway, but not all of them are going to be obviously first teamers. But when you've got 7 players out like that, it's gonna hit you hard. It's definitely gonna hit you hard. But they still got a decent enough team that they can put out there. You know, this is something that they might do for tomorrow, for today's game. Obviously with 3 at the back, obviously the 2 wing backs in Nori and Semedo, with Gomez and Andre, remember him. In the middle of the park, Cunha, Guedes, and Sarabia. Yeah, I think they're gonna try and obviously hit us on the counter. I predicted a win for the Everton game, so who knows? That might just be a jinx in itself. But yeah, I think they will look at this and think to themselves, if we can hit Liverpool on the counter, we've got enough quality to be able to do so. Can they stop us? I don't think so. And that's where I look at Liverpool and think maybe just. Everton have got like the defenders, like the Tarkowskis, the Branthwaites, you know, them kind of guys, the Corres and these kind of guys in there who can, you know, if they really need to get dirty, they can do so. I don't know if these guys are going to be able to do that. But again, who am I to really, you know, really judge? And obviously, as I said, you know, Cunha being, you know, the danger man, and Slot did, you know, speak about him and say, you know, in comparison to like in the Dutch league, you know, you wouldn't find a player who a team is in 17th and he could probably play for any of the top teams. He probably could. I mean, he could definitely be in our squad. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, like he'd be a starter, but he'd definitely be in the squad. And to be honest, with the way our attack is these days, he probably would start, you know, some games. This is the 11 I've gone for. Could be different. Alisson, Tsimikas, I've gone with that left back. Van Dijk, Konaté, I've gone with Bradley. I know Trent played a bit of minutes. Well, I say a bit. He played obviously some minutes obviously in that game, but I would still wait on that. I don't feel like if Bradley, I keep saying if Bradley's as good as people keep telling me, I feel like we should be able to still play Bradley in this type of game and give Trent a bit more time, give him a bit more minutes, because you don't want him to break down and then he's out for a long. Like, I don't feel like it's necessary. You can still bring him on second half as an example. You can say, oh, you know what, we're going to give you 45 instead this time, you know, kind of thing, where we're going to, you know, you can play that full second half kind of thing. But yeah, that's just what I've gone for. I'm not going to be opposed to Trent playing, but I do think that we are rushing some players back a bit too quickly. Mac, and obviously, to be honest, the midfielder picks itself. I mean, there's no one else really to play in there. Salah obviously picks himself. I've gone with Diaz at left wing. Because Gakpo is doubtful, I don't know what one for Chiesa. Like, I don't even know. Is he like, he might be on the bench at this. He probably will. In fact, I think Chiesa will be on the bench unless there's a surprise and he starts this game, but I don't see that happening. So I'm going to go with Diaz on the left, and then with Jota up top. Jota should be fit now, man. Come on, man. Like, bro, don't make me pick Nunes, man. Just, I beg you, just be fit. You're against your old team as well. Do you know what I mean? You want to get some goals and that. Like, do your thing properly, man. Do your thing properly. But yeah, that's what I've gone for. In terms of the score prediction, I'm gonna go 2-1. Liverpool just beat Wolves. I think it'll be like close, unless they've got this whole new mentality and maybe now the players are back into some type of rhythm. But we're reaching, you know what I mean? We're starting to get close to that time of the season where teams just pick up random results. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-1 Liverpool for this game. Salah double. Fuck it. Yeah, Salah double. Salah, I don't know who gets the assist, but Salah double. And for Wolves, maybe like Guedes to probably score. I bet it won't even be Cunha. He probably won't even. He'll be marked out of the game for some shit, and then Guedes or someone else will probably score. So yeah, I'll go with that. But let me know, guys. Obviously in the chat. Like I said, I just want better performance, man. The last 2 games have been crap performance wise, and I know Slot's not really happy with what he's been seeing. So yeah, we definitely need to step it up for this game. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will be back with the match reaction.